How fuzzy about Zerker, I'm not going to attempt to intimidate a mushroom.
Uh-oh. There we are.
And I've got video on Twitch.
I have to rearrange. How are you doing this evening? Welcome to the Black Door.
I'm not seeing Tormy on Twitch.
I got my Twitch.
Ah, there we go.
It's that delay. So, where we last left off, our brave, I hesitate to call you adventurers, individual.
Oh, great.
Well, at least one of you are. He's not too bright.
Our question mark protagonist? Question mark?
Is he brave or is he just too stupid to know that?
Yes.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Mostly from
Column B.
Too stupid to be afraid. Got it.
He doesn't know the meaning of the world, or the word.
I had it right first time.
You know, there is a sign of a good DM, one that is prepared for every contingency, whatever his players can throw at him. And then there's those that are like me, who are still looking up their notes. Because I was like,
Or derailed at the drop of it.
Well, if you consider scraps of paper here and there notes, yes. Yeah, I like to keep track of it a little bit, like a name here and there.
I fully expect for him to at some point hold up a cocktail napkin that says "Sexy Goblin."
Would you like to see the notes from the last session? That's it.
That's a white piece of paper.
It's written in pencil. It's hard to see. Yeah, I didn't have a pen there. Actually, it may be pen. Yeah, it's literally just your 4 character names, and then the math from the combat from when he teabagged the guy in the alleyway.
Alright, Amano, I made something. Got all the dice camera, don't make me use it.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, good dice. Yeah, sure. They're no longer my problem.
I cannot believe I just spent 2 minutes looking through tabs for the character sheet when it was on the same screen as the Twitch. Doing good tonight.
We all are. We all are. All right.
The moment when you couldn't see the eyes because shampoo was in the way.
See, I just gotta remember.
Why are you storing your dice in the shower?
Gotta keep it clean.
Don't judge me.
I'm not judging.
extra bottle of rum, which I have been looking at for a while. It's not Hornets, it's not Jameson's.
Do you open your palate before you drink it?
Elaborate? No, I just drink it.
Alright. See, you're drinking whiskey already. Next time you drink whiskey, for one, do not take shots. Don't.
You got to put it in a glass.
Put it in a glass.
I drink straight from the bottle usually.
It's 3 fingers.
Glass of ice.
Ice? No. You don't use ice. That's
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry, I'm thinking tequila. You are right, no ice.
no ice.
Anyway. Before you drink it, take your thumb and dip it in the whiskey. Take your thumb and push it to the roof of your mouth and let the whiskey slide down the back of your throat. That way, when you actually take a drink of the whiskey, you're going to get all of the flavors that go into it. Really, a lot of people can't try to drink Jack because it's way too strong. Open your palate and then take a sip of it, and you'll actually get all of the subtle flavors that were put into that whiskey.
And Miss Bourbon.
I got like 2 or 3 bottles put in my cupboard.
Okay. So, who wants to recap what happened last time?
Well, we were sitting in a bar. Somebody started eavesdropping on our conversation. I threw a knife at him, and the barbarian decided to just, oh yeah, we need to go get that knife back. And that was pretty much the entire session.
Well, and us trying to search for our targets for hours on the rooftop and not finding anything. And then we went to. Yeah, someone was trying to get me in trouble, but yeah, I didn't fall for it.
Then we were like, oh yeah, we're criminals. We have contacts. So then we utilized our contacts to get information.
Now, you hadn't quite got that information yet, but they're
We ended by
one of them was doing it by drop, and the other one said you needed to stop by her place later to get you that information.
So the next morning, we were heading to bed for the night.
yeah, and I gotta find the paperboy on the corner.
So yours was Margaret, I believe Copperwind was her name.
And despite it being a continent, no one thought to check the password.
Yeah, let's not worry about City Hall at all. Nobody said to kill him there, but you just gotta find him first.
I have Margaret Wormglazer.
Wormglazer, okay.
I don't remember the name of it.
Yours was Copperwind. Theta Copperwind.
Etta?
I believe so.
That sounds right.
That's what I have circled.
I made the joke that she's not like a cheese.
Yeah. I forget about that
All right, so you awaken. All of y'all are still alive. No one attacked you in your sleep. So what is y'all's first plan of action? As the dawn awakens and you smell baked goods rising through the wind. creeping through the closed window.
I'm gonna go get a sweet roll and go meet toward the paper roll.
And I was going to get some breakfast and then go meet up with Margaret.
And the other two?
I was checking on the how well the scars were healed with that minor fight we had. Because he still takes pride in the scars, even if
They're kind of small. They're actually disappointing.
at least they were self-inflicted this time.
This time.
There's a reason why he uses a hammer and not a sword.
So, you're checking your scars, Artemis? Archimedes?
It's all Greek to you. I'm gonna head back to the bar that we started all of this at,
Okay.
and I'm gonna order the breakfast beer and wait for our favorite to see if he has any particular information to serve up with the beginning of the day.
Alright. So we'll start with the one going after the paper boy. Got to meet paper boy on the corner. So
Grab a sweet roll on my way there.
that's not a problem. So did you make the... Was it you made the drop beforehand? You met up with him and you're picking up your information now?
Yeah, the way we have it set up is I carve the information I want onto a candle. I light
That's-
it and leave it as my headstone, and then I go and find the paper boy who will have the information.
Alright. So, I almost lost important information. Stay. So, give me a general perception roll. Or investigation.
A little percent. 16.
16. Takes you a little bit because, you know, these kids do not stay in the same corners to pass out stuff every time, but you do find them. And just a kid doing the local news, harking it out, and I do not have a list of headlines, but you get some just general headlines. Some game, somebody lost in the Coliseum, some gladiator fighting, the chariot races. Yeah, the news. It's basically the news. So
Mysterious military attacks local land.
there was some sort of controversy had happened not too far, but no one was injured.
Well, I will find the specific paper boy that I usually go to, and I'll buy one of his papers.
Ah, that's good. Okay. That'll be 3 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That'll be 3 gold.
I will hand him over 3 gold.
Thank you, sir. Paper.
I'll walk away with the newspaper in my arm. Probably fly up to the top of one of the buildings and then go through it.
All right. So, just going through the paper, and you actually come to the society page. or the equivalent of the society page, and the Sunlock Gazette, which is now the name of the paper.
I'm determined.
It's easy. So in the society section, you do actually see a picture of Tamaran circled with a question mark that says, "You mean this guy, right?" And then there is specific information that is highlighted. The information is, some of it is handwritten in. There's some that is handwritten in, but like his days of worship, where when he goes to the local church, where what's one thing written in is him volunteering at an orphanage. Stuff like he's going to a soup kitchen to help make sure that this is all done up, and along those lines. And today, it's written on there, at the church.
After that, I'll head back to Archimedes and share knowledge.
Alright, Serb. So you head to Margaret's room.
Yep.
The door is closed.
I will knock on
You don't hear anything.
the door. Knock again a little bit harder.
Give me a perception roll. No, seriously, right now. No. And if you have any bonuses or advantage for listening to something, that would come into handy. But I don't think you do. 18. You do hear somebody in there. There does appear to be movement.
Can I tell what's going on? Or
There appears to be some sort of giggling happening.
she's kind of in her book? I will knock again.
It gets quiet. Like, the giggling that you heard is now, and it's barely audible. You can hear some whispering.
I don't think she's real.
Yeah, we need to come back and message her later.
Then you hear, it sounds like books falling over, and you hear the latch come up and the door. Oh. Yes. Kinjara, what did you need? She's kind of peeking around. Stop it.
You were supposed to bring me some information on Tamaran.
Oh, hold on. You hear the door. She pushes the door closed again. You hear shuffling. Some more noises. And then it gets super quiet and the door, you hear several locks and the door opens. And she's standing there in her like like nothing's going on. She's got a cup of coffee. Yeah. But the thing is, sure, can't use that one. You see the cup of coffee, and it's upside down. It's obviously upside down. She's like, yeah, hold on a minute. I'll get it. I was just enjoying a cup of coffee. And this place is trashed as normal. It's a little more so than you'd... Not as neatly stacked as normal. But she comes back with some little index cards and gives you this information, and it's basically most of it is the same as what you'd already heard or I'd already spoken. But there is another one where it mentions his house that he stays at on the weekends that is a little farther outside of town. Well, he's got two homes. One he stays near the council members and stuff, but he has a secondary one that he goes to on the weekends. It is on the outskirts of the city, or a little bit farther out, closer to the walls, in a much more open area, less crowded area. It's like he's got an apartment in the city and then a house in the suburbs.
I appreciate the information, and I turn around and walk away. I paid you last night.
I don't remember that.
What do I owe you now?
A couple of gold.
I'll give her 5 gold.
Thank you. Click. As soon as the gold leaves your hands, the door is closed and you hear it locking. And then you stop as you're walking away. Just for a split second, you hear giggling again. And all right, so now you're headed back. So you're in the Broken Hammer with our older elven gentleman, Woody, who always seems to be there. What can we get for you?
Sliding an extra gold. It's for the extra problem yesterday. And
It's not a problem.
no, sorry. He had an extra problem yesterday and slides another gold. And I think I need a little bit of a pattern for that key that I saw yesterday.
He goes down. He takes the gold and he pushes it back towards you. And goes, I don't have any more patterns on the key. I just deliver them.
Then can I get a set of breakfast beers today?
That we can do. And then he picks up the gold again that he slid towards you. Now
Nothing ever free.
And brings you back the equivalent of a travel mug thing. It's a really cheaply made, barely carved wooden cup. Something that you know at this point, this is something you could walk out of here with, no problem.
Yeah. It's the Steins that they don't mind going in.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of a paper cup. which would probably exist. So,
I like the
Oh.
Stein better.
actually, well, we're gonna go with Stein. They are Steins. They're small wooden, just small little beer mugs, not much larger than this here. Well, you do notice on the bottom, and you've noticed this before, is a ring of magical sigils that encircle the bottom of it. Your previous experience is that you can leave with it, but once it's empty, it apparates back to the bar.
I like that. That's better.
Mono? No! Who was supposed to pay attention to the Minotaur? Choose-
I thank you anyway. And we'll probably be coming in for another locksmith job sometime soon. And give him a wave and head back to where we left our beefalo to inspect his body.
There, as you're leaving, you do notice there is a napkin kind of wrapped around one of the mugs, and you see that there is some writing on the inside of the napkin.
I'm gonna wait until we get back to take that off and check it. But I'll definitely take note of it.
All right. So you're making your way back to the room?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you'd get back first, and then Serb would get back, and well, Kinjar would get back, and then Axis would get back.
Got a short break.
I was going to ask why, so if I can go to a garden district or a plant selling district and how to put that.
Yes. You left the Minotaur on his own.
If anything
I
happens
do
with
have
her,
other recall for where I think.
That's not what I'm worried about. It's weird. So, it doesn't take you long to find a couple of shops that sell flowers and that sort of thing, most of which are used medicinally, unless you're looking for something specific. Are you looking for a florist or for like a vegetable garden? You know,
I'm looking for lilacs, lilies, and flowers. Lilacs, lavender, and some, I guess, flowers? Mint.
mint. Well, you can actually find those at an herbalist or a florist.
I'll be going to an herbalist.
Okay.
It will all make sense once you're able to.
One of these days.
I
Ha! You,
just really want to see how this plays out now.
you and me both.
Botany background. All three of them in IFSUs can be considered poison.
Welcome.
You can also
So-
Yes, but no one suspects the spell on lilacs, lily, lavender, etched in oak.
So after a little bit of
I
searching,
like how the Minotaur is going for the subtle poison method.
here we go. had the name. You find a place. It's called Helvena's Mystic Herbs.
Did someone say that, or
No, this is. What's his IQ?
Intelligence is 5.
Okay, so you see this mortar and pestle with flowers sticking out of it on a wooden sign, and there are obviously some letters above it. You're not sure what it says.
Doesn't show there even letters.
Yeah, well, I'll say he knows. I know he knows a couple of them.
He likes the pretty writing. He doesn't listen to years ago.
And you see in the shop window, you do see herbs and a jar of lavender seeds and things along that nature. As you open the door, the smell of this shop is just amazing. You smell the lavender, the mugwort, ginger root, just all of these different herbs just filling the air. You see an elderly elven woman behind the counter. And when I say an elderly elven woman, you know she has got to be old if she looks old and is an elf. Hello. What can I do for you, sir?
Hello, pretty lady. I would like to know if I can buy some lavender and lilac and some
Lavender, how much? How much you look? An equal amount of each. Not a problem, sir. Excuse me. And she kind of works her way around you, and she starts going and grabbing these different jars and bringing them over. And you get 10 gold worth of them. So what? 3 gold each. 3.5. Roughly 3 gold each of them. Just be careful not to bump anything on the way out. You are quite large and things are very breakable here.
Simon will slowly bow his head and slowly back out, exactly where he came up. Retracing his steps exactly.
Okay. That's an interesting fellow. And she goes back to her thing. So, Cornelius, you get back to the room, and Keofin? Is that the name, Keofin? Keofin.
Tinkerbell.
Keofin is not there.
Well, there are gonna be new stories in the paper tomorrow. Just sit down at the table, spread the 4 mugs out, and take the napkin and start moving while I wait for the others to get back.
It has just one little thing on there. It says Almost Orphanage.
face down underneath my mouth and just poke one of my I'm gonna poke Envy and see if he's still working on the small potion he's making, and just like play with that a little bit while the others are doing.
Forgot about your homunculi. So I was like, what the hell is he talking about? All right. So it's not long before everyone starts to show back up. For getting their informations, and as Axis and Kinjar arrive back, they notice that Kayafin is not there.
I'll sit down, sniff whatever it is involved, and whatever uncomfortable stuff that I have to put in store.
It's just a breakfast. It's just a breakfast food. It's not gonna be too strong on its own, but it's enough to get you started in the day.
I will also sit down and start drinking the breakfast beer. Where the hell did Tinkerbell go? Tinkerbell.
I don't know. Last I saw when I was helping out, he was still checking the skies from yesterday.
Oh god, this can't be good.
Pick up.
Probably about
Flip over. Pick up. I don't know what. Yeah.
maybe 5 minutes go by before Kayafin shows back up.
What you need grounded up?
He'll hold up his jars of flowers and smile as he puts one piece of one lavender on his head, these ones.
Are you looking for a meal or a face?
Please? I need crush. I need oils.
Ah, you looking for oil? Yeah, I can. Ride. Come down here. Comes down from the ledge that over the door where I posted him to keep an eye. And the homunculus that's shaped like an owl just kind of like spreads its wings way too far in the back caves and opens into a bowl-like thing, and then just put a little bit in now. It'll do the work for us.
You will dump the entire of all three mixtures at once.
This poor mechanical owl is very.
I was gonna say, you might spend years worth of figure out another time. Figure out all of them.
Yes.
So the bigger owl called the bigger owl is like
You just see
1.5
wings sticking
size-
out.
Is only like 1.5 times your size. The smaller one is like an inch shorter than you. Yeah. Because I needed a reason for him to be named Envy.
So yeah, it's trying to grind, but it may be overwhelmed.
The this gonna take a while. I start to like I unbury the bird and pick him up, put him outside of the pile, scoop out the stuff, and then put in a little bit of. Are you looking for this to be three different oils or one oil?
3 different oils, but they're going to be combined eventually.
They're
3 different LEDs.
combined them are.
Do I see what you're going for here?
Do you have proficiency in poisoners or? Yeah, I guess it'd be a poisoners. Anything dealing with poison. You could do nature as well, but it would be a higher DC. Alchemist as well would be close to a poisoner's kit.
I was going to say it's an artificer, so yes.
Probably so, yeah.
I have plenty, but I think I might start.
Just barely. You do know that large quantities of this would could be used as a poison of sorts. If distilled and purified.
I see what you're getting at. This may take a while, but I can put pride on it and he get it done on his own for the oil bottle, and then we get to the next step.
They know what it does.
Alright, so while that interaction is going on, I'm going to look at the note that Archimedes threw down. Throw my newspaper with the section of actual information face up on top of it. I would say not happening yet.
It is a place that we can get it from
No. Those organ beings will be animal tech.
He should be at the church today.
It's okay to kill him in front of his, I guess, gods, but not for kids.
I was thinking more on the way back from the orphanage, not from the kids.
I don't think any of us were involved in that. Kids got nothing.
All of them will put up a torch above the earth and say, are we taking care of the church too?
Are we getting paid for the church?
No.
No, I'm burning the church down.
Moral victories on point.
The church is you all know that the church is a large cathedral-style building.
All that plays into my Did the information I got from my contact say what time he's going to be there, or if he's like literally right there?
It did not give you a time, but you get the understanding that he's probably going to be there today for a while.
Alright, so I can get up into the top of the church, keep an eye on there. Depending on how many witnesses are around, I can just take them out there. Archimedes, you fly as well, right? why don't me and you take topside, and then we can have
Wait a minute. Do we really want the glowing owl to be in the stealthy part of this mission? Just saying.
I don't necessarily go outside if you need to.
Mr. Shine, Mr. Owl.
And actually, you. Two-Face. You could actually get inside of the Church in Disguise. Really close to it.
I could.
And then we could have Tinkerbell be your backup in case anything goes wrong. If something happens where we can't take him out, Tinkerbell sets up a distraction, you change face real quick.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from with that. And a little poke and he could possibly be paralyzed, and then it would just be a lot of salt.
I got a
Go back.
Why don't you go in? You sit down and you look like a real You take a different look. You look like this. And then go sit in the confessional.
Oh, we're doing it this way. I see.
Get nice and quiet.
If it doesn't work, you got me up top covering you.
Yeah.
You can eat yourself out of it.
Oh, what now?
Do you need to get it?
I've got
Uh, yeah. I forgot to pick up.
I was about to say, I have it, but they're not going to fit you. I hold those
Russian is there.
Give me.
We don't, how many times do we have to tell you we don't talk about that in public?
Give me half
Or
an
do you use the
hour.
hutch?
Give me half an hour. I'll be right back. Somebody finish on me. I'm gonna.
I would chug his beer.
I rush out, head to the back end of the stalls in the back end of the stalls in the market area that has just the stands out instead of like storefronts.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bother the guy that I normally get like cloths from for shit that I make for the library.
Okay.
And I mean, I've got some blacks and some whites that I can pick up real quick. Would you?
Yeah, I've got some here. How much do you need?
What is your odds be about? I'm making maybe 3 outfits a little bit taller than me.
Okay. Yeah. Give me just a minute.
2 black for every 1 white.
Okay. Yeah. Give me about 25 minutes or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be back.
Okay. He starts pulling fabric.
I take the 50 instead of the rush back. I take a nice 10-minute audio back. It's gonna be a minute, but I can set you up.
I just forgot about something, or just remembered something. I got some information that he has a house on the outskirts that he only visits on the weekends. He has like a vacation house, you know. Normally he lives kind of in the Senate area, but he also has a house on the outskirts that he goes to on weekends. What day is today?
Today would be the equivalent of Thursday. I don't have my calendar up. I will have to pull that up later. I'll send y'all a copy of it.
Let's see. We do a scope tonight. We check exactly how close we can get to this, and then we put this as an easy version. Plenty of people go after something huge. It is obvious if it happened in other place.
So we made this week.
We did. The key wasn't the right color for us to be doing this as a big priority. Let's take our time.
Right now, we don't even know how much we're getting paid right now. Just that we have a target.
Well, you do know that as he said, the keys are specific color. They're basically color coded. This one is a lighter. Now, if the key had been like black, that means doesn't matter. Just get them off the board. It can be very public or very private, you know, however. This one, huh?
What was the key that we got?
Yeah, the key that y'all got was probably a mid-range, more of a gray. So it's like doesn't necessarily have to be a high priority, you know, out in the open hit. You can play it as you choose. If the key had been white, it needs to be like straight up, you know, nobody can see what's going on.
White needs to be clean.
Yep.
Black needs to be right now.
Remember, if there's no survivors, there are no.
And the cost on those, a black key, that is 1,000 gold hit. Gray 500.
Per group or per individual?
That's per group. Gray 500, white 5,000. Because it's got to be clean.
No mistakes.
No mistakes, no witnesses, no proof.
If it was white, you wouldn't have power for the law.
Y'all get a lot of gray keys.
While you're doing your thing, Archimedes, I'm gonna head to the church. Keep an eye on him. If you want to send one of your heads with me in case
I
anything
can-
happens.
I'll send in you with you. He can it's going to take a while.
So while you get set up, I will go keep an eye on it. If anything happens, send word back to me.
Here, take a couple of sheets of paper so that you can write it and put it in this cloth.
Alright. So that's what I will do. I will head up to the church. I will get to the highest point in the church, probably the belfry, and slowly work my way down until I can get to the
All right. Okay.
Mr. Shaw, you need to make one thing.
Do you need it to be like quick dry or do you need it to be sticky?
Yes?
One would be
Quick dry and then sticky?
I'm working on that. I can do it.
Quick dry for now. It's for the to decorate.
Yeah, that I can do. Again, I can take the leaking off and do
It does not take you very long at all to get to the cathedral. Y'all are only a few blocks away from it.
So, yeah, I'll slip into the belfry. I will leave the owl outside of the church itself. I can like perch on.
This is like 16 Chapel huge. Like Notre Dame, you know, huge.
I got good at
All right. There is
it.
a fairly large group of people in there. The inside itself is sectioned off because this building has been used for the entire Pantheon, with Xeris and Xandus being the largest areas in there. And then each of the other gods is sectioned off on the sides with smaller areas of worship.
Do we know what faith
Well, that you do not know. It's pretty much they're all it's like worshiping a Greek pantheon. You go to certain gods for certain things.
That's fair. Oh, this is why I came here. Alright, so I will stay high, stay out of sight, and on target.
Alright. I will need perception rolls. Alright, well, give me 3 of them. So, alright, what are you others doing? While Axis has gone off?
We're going to go grab the rest of the cloths and start flowers and
Okay. You could just purchase white paint. It may be cheaper. This is, it'll definitely be faster.
It'll definitely be faster. It'll probably be more expensive because time versus convenience.
But a gallon of paint does not cost. It costs less than a gold. We're probably talking maybe a silver and a couple of coppers.
I give it to you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Keep up the good work. You're going to a good cause.
He's-
Cause on-
All right, guys, they're gone. Let's roll those dice again. I got some more money.
Alright, I got a 16, a 15, and a 17 on those perceptions.
You see him. He's down near the front in the area for Xeris and Xandus. And he's paying. He's giving out alms to the poor. He's donating money to the homeless that are coming through.
19 on religion. Who are Xeris and Xandus?
Oh, Xeris and Xandus. Those are the two main gods of the pantheon. Xeris is the god that is over the domain of life. Xandus is the god over the domain of death. They're the only two true neutral gods. They created the realm. Xeris takes the form of the shape. Xeris looks like a white dragon, but is completely black. I'm sorry. Xeris looks like a black dragon, the shape of a black dragon, the horn, the way the horns come down and such, but is completely white. Whereas Xandus looks like a white dragon in shape, but is all black. And they are the two main gods of the pantheon.
Okay. How many people are in the area where he is?
That's a good question. Let's find out, shall we? You probably see about 30 to 40 people in that area.
How big's the area?
Looking at the map, or what I was looking at was, you're looking at from wall to wall, probably about at least 100 feet across. So that section he's in is large, just large enough for 30 people to be easily moving around in there. There's no crowded area.
How many people are like within 30 feet or so of him?
About 30 to 40 people.
Okay.
As you move out from there, the church itself has got several, probably a couple of hundred people in it altogether. At various altars of Krytos and Brant, and Evanor, Malaya, Denali, Sasura, Narizi, all of the gods lined up on the sides.
Yeah, for the moment, I'll just keep him in my sights. I won't do anything. If the crowd around him does start to diminish at all, or start to move away from like the 20 to 30 foot range from him, let me know.
Okay. Alright, so you're getting cloth. Kinjar.
I am still waiting for
I'll say in this intermittent time, Archimedes has arrived with the materials that you were trying to get.
Well, since this ain't gonna be anything really, really difficult to make, and he just pops a small like tool bundle, and a couple of needles come out, and he already has thread in them, and he just starts working on. I can't. Puts the materials down. Pulls out. It's only like 2 feet long, and just starts doing measurements on them. Keeps it all relatively in his head, and then marks it down on a page in his book, and then starts to work kind of feverishly, but like it's not magic. It's just he's used to making things that are more complicated because they're magical. So the less magical versions are just the common portion.
And what exactly is he attempting to make?
He's making the robes for the priest.
Ah, okay, priest vestments.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got enough materials specifically to be able to fucked up, make it again.
Alright, so give me a religion roll first. Alright, now give me I'm not sure which proficiency we would use for crafting that. What?
There's proficiencies.
Yeah, do you have sewing
I have
or the equivalent?
okay, yeah, I do have
The kit? Okay, then roll with it. And you rolled an 18, and that you got a night 20. Oh, then yeah, then no doubt about it. I was gonna give you advantage for rolling in the 18, but yeah, man, no problem. You're like, huh. So which deity did you make this for? They're all of them are assigned by the domains in the player's handbook.
Considering this group in particular, it's just going to be priest robe vestments of death. It's the one thing that he's less likely to fuck up if somebody asks him a question.
Xandus.
And be an extra. There's a pocket at the back where underneath where to have it come, or where the tails come down, where you can hide your blades. Show that off.
All right, Axis. You see people starting to. He's holding his hands up like you can't quite make out what he's saying, but it appears to be him telling him he's got nothing else to give today. And he starts to turn and walk away. And there are a couple of people that are walking with him, also nicely dressed. And they're heading towards the back of it.
For the church?
Yeah, well, out to this, like a little side area.
Alright, I will follow them from my high vantage point and keep them in my sights.
It's not hard with the vaulted ceilings that are in here. with the creation myth across the ceiling. You fly past the Great Dragon War to the creation is showing where Xeris and Xandus first found the world devoid of life. And from your vantage point, you see him go into what looks like an office. And you can also see that there are, knowing the building itself, I imagine you did a flyover before you came inside. You do know that there are a couple of other exits on the sides of the building. They're used for staff and such. You see a little office in there, and then the door closes.
I will head outside then to see if he left the building itself, or if there's a vantage point from the office that he walked in, like a window or something on the outside though.
Okay. It'll take you a couple.
Even if I don't have to go all the way around.
Or
I can squeeze through inches that are an inch or bigger.
all right. So give me a perception. See if you can find a crack in the stone somewhere or something to crawl through.
15.
15 takes you a couple of moments, but you do see where one of the glass from a stained glass window has got a small little crack in it that you're able to pull out of the way and then climb through.
I'm gonna make a note of where that break in the stained glass was to let the priest know afterwards.
Okay.
If you're gonna run a church, come on, keep your shit together. Then I will try and find that office from the outside, or if it was an exit.
As you come down off the side of the building, I just imagine Axis going, "Wah!" like swan diving it, doing the Assassin's Creed.
I'll even do a couple flips on there.
And on the way down.
It turns around and flops backwards.
You do see him coming out of the side. There is a carriage outside, and he gets into the carriage. On your way down, you see him going into a carriage.
How many people are out
Hold on, let me look at the map again to kind of get an idea. I really need to download the map. Did I download the map? I did download the map. Awesome. I would say that there is right there is probably the average number of people you would find in a downtown area just kind of walking around. So I mean, it's not like super busy crowded streets, but there are people around. There are other carriages going around.
How many are close to his carriage?
There's probably one or two in front. They're like in a line, you know. It's yeah.
People have a tendency not to look.
His is not a taxi. His is an actual official carriage, but there are basically cabbies.
Solid wood top?
His?
Yeah.
His, yes.
Alright, perfect. People have a tendency not to look up. I'm going to use that in my size. While I'm doing my swan dives and flips, I'm changing direction so that I land on top of his. But I'm not actually going to land with the fall. I'm actually going to use my wing flutter, so I step lightly and don't make a noise.
Okay. That is not a problem.
And then I'll lay down on top of the carrot.
Give me a stealth roll.
Nat 20.
Jeez. Well, that's 2 for the night.
That was almost off my paper. Like, it barely hung.
So, yeah, you're for as you touch down, you're looking there, and you're like, straighten up a little bit, and as you're doing that, you notice that the guy that's the carriage driver starts to turn his head to look, and that's when you flatten out, and he's kind of looking around like he's trying to get into the flow. Ah! So you are now on the carriage.
A lot easier to follow them when they're doing the work.
All right, so you guys, what are you doing? You obviously made an excellent investment.
It's so useful. Who knows? It might be useful later.
Just put it in the toolbox. You'll have it ready.
Investments for Xandis will always come in handy.
So, like, finish that up, hand it off to you. It's been long enough for me to do this. Maybe not in those. We should send some to see what he's up to. Looks tried. I think one of us should go see what he's up to.
Yeah, I will go ahead. I will go ahead and head toward the church.
Okay. Again, it doesn't take you very long to get there because the church isn't that far from where y'all are at. You're looking for what exactly?
I am looking for bricks or target.
Give me a perception roll. He's gonna, to see you, he's gonna have to roll a nat 20 plus.
At
11. Unfortunately, these wagons look pretty much. You're not seeing anything that looks like anybody that you would recognize. It's a really nice church, though.
I'll go ahead and head into the church, look around. Can I see Envy?
Did he bring you Envy?
Yeah, I left Envy at the very top of the church.
Okay. Okay. Give me a roll to see if you can see Envy. And can Envy see him?
I'm not seeing anything with a 5.
Yeah. Are you a religious person? I mean, you all believe you all know the gods are real, but are you a devout follower of them?
I would be a follower of Xandis, but not
There is a demigod that the kid that is named Peruse, which is the symbol of the key that y'all have. Is a demigod of thieves and assassins.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, I would definitely be following Kirby's thing.
Xandus is the god of death, as in the natural order of life and death. He doesn't like things that shouldn't be alive, to be alive. Whereas Karuz has no problem if they're alive or dead, and they should be dead. So, yeah, you're just in awe of the... You don't get into the church very often. There are elves and gnomes and dragonborn and lizard folk and dwarves, just the entire spectrum of the populace, all here, all in various little sections, worshiping, some of them wailing for help, and this and that, just all over the place. There's a sense of calm in the air. And after a few moments, you feel something on your shoulder. It's a small mechanical bird.
I will take another look around, and since I don't see anybody, I will head back to the inn.
Alright. So you're heading back to the inn. Everyone else?
I'm working on his stuff and hand off the bucket of blades.
Okay.
Paladin was practicing drawing symbols of death
Okay.
on his mates.
Okay. Strong up.
There was a portion of that we did
There is no specific god through chaos, murder, and slaughter.
I heard specific god through chaos, murder, and slaughter.
Sadly, I could not see one that was specifically chaos, murder.
No, the closest you're going to have is Karuz, which is the demigod of thieves and assassins.
Then he's definitely going to be trying to I know the super strike in my phone, my finger is slippery today. I'm trying to write down symbols through Peruse on the Warhammer, and after he gets the paint, start painting his forehead back.
Alright. That's not going to be noticeable at all.
This is why we don't get white.
Yeah.
Just right now.
Yeah, just so there's...
This is why I'm on top of the camera.
Which the carriage does come to a stop.
Oh
The door opens. You can feel movement in the carriage. And you hear, go ahead and head on to the house. I'll get another ride back. Might even walk. Such a nice day. And footsteps on the gravel going off. Yes, sir. And then after a couple of moments, the wagon starts moving again.
Looking without raising my head any more than I absolutely have to, what is around?
Buildings.
You know, I had wings. I'm going to whisper under my breath and teleport 30 feet directly.
Okay.
Get 30 feet.
So,
30 feet straight in the air.
alright, you're now in the air, looking down. You see him walking into a building. It has a wrought iron fence around it, and there's a small yard there. And there are several children playing in the yard. As he walks through the gate, some of the kids come running up to him, and he's like, ah! He seems to be playing with a few of them, and, chuckling with them, picks one of them up, sets him down. Y'all run along and play. And he starts to head into the building.
Okay, this is the orphanage, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Is it the orphanage I always went
That's a good question.
Rival orphanage.
to? You saw my mind, like you know my character.
Yeah, I didn't read it though. No. Alright, let's see. Odds yes, evens no. No, it's not the same orphanage. The one you normally visit's on the other side. This orphanage is that a nicer neighborhood than the one you normally go to?
Orphanage is orphanage, so just as my normal orphanage, I can start this. I'm going to fly down, throw my cross over my shoulder, and just peek in the building.
Okay. As you're walking in, with your cross, you did say cross, correct?
Yeah, it's in the cross.
Yeah. So all of the kids that are in the yard stop and just watch you as you carry the. Now, how tall is your character again? Alright. So there's one step. You're going to kind of fly up a little bit on the. Are you actually going to touch the steps or just fly over them?
I will fly extremely close to them to make it
Look like you're. They're all. You see these. As you move closer to the door, they start encroaching, trying to get a peek at you as you head inside. You do see as the doors of the building itself are open, and you do see the dwarf standing off to the side talking to someone.
I will keep him in my peripheral. I'm going to act like I don't notice him as I go to the movie building to the movie, smile at the children, and I'm going to toss a stack of chalk down onto the steps behind me, and then I will walk in and search for, try and find whoever.
Okay. Just throw some chalk to him? Okay. Okay. For a moment, as you do that, as you toss them, they all kind of like step back. What the hell? And after a few moments, you see one of them finally go up and grab a piece of chalk. And they all start grabbing, the little fighting over it a little bit, and you see them just kind of start drawing on the stones. There's a few adults walking around here and there with paperwork and clipboards. You do see a desk along the back wall near where he is standing. There seems to be a little reception area.
I guess that's right.
As you approach with your cross, you see a young man behind the desk. He's probably barely out of his teens, if at all. Watches you come up, and then as you get closer to the desk itself, kind of leans forward, to follow you. Can
Start floating.
can I help you?
Actually, that's what I was going to ask you.
I don't need any help.
I think that they're going to help out if I don't know.
Oh, are you looking to donate, or what sort of help are you doing? I'm sure we will take all kinds of donation. Anything that can help.
Whether it be donations, happily go out and play with children.
Whatever you're available to do. I mean, our staff we're fairly well staffed, but anyway, we're always accepting donations. We're accepting help with the cooking, helping the kids. Training. Do you have any skills that you could teach? That way, when they get out of here, when they become adults, they actually have a trainable skill that they can actually earn them money, and they won't end up on the streets doing bad things.
I have a bunch of food with me that I will gladly donate to the kitchens.
Oh, okay.
I've got about 20 gold on me. We will, I got 20 gold that I was rolling as well. And I noticed that there were a bunch of children playing outside. I threw them some rock in my apartment. I'm actually a very skilled in acrobatics.
Oh,
We'll spend some time out there, and I will see if I can
Oh. Okay. Could you hold on a moment? There's a form here somewhere, and he opens up the desk drawer and starts rifling, and there's a stack of papers he pulls out, sets it on the thing, and starts going through it. He goes, "Oh yeah, donations." He goes,
While he's doing that, are there any that are filled out?
"Give me a perception
Or
roll."
are they all?
It's very unorganized.
15.
You do see one that's that's filled out. That looks very similar, but not quite. You're not sure if it's the exact same thing or not. With just that quick glancing as he's kind of flipping through them.
Did I see a name at all for who filled it out?
No, you weren't able to see a name.
I won't push that then.
But he gives you a paper, and it's like name, occupation, what you're donating, and then a place to put a signature. And
Fill it out with...
and an address and that sort of thing.
I will fill everything out with the accurate information, including the access folder safe and my actual name. The only thing that I will leave blank is the address. But other than that, I will fill everything out.
Okay.
And hand it back to him.
We need an address.
Oh, I don't have... I never settled down in one place for too long to actually get an address.
Oh, okay. We just so you know, this area's we board children. I mean, you're not large, but we don't board adults. This is only for children.
I will be gone by the end of the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't think Mistress would like that.
I travel around, I help orphanages. I may come back time and time again, or a few times when I'm in the area, but I do not stay at the orphanage. I'm simply here for the children.
Okay. Yeah, because that would really freak out Madam Natalie.
So at that, I will float away and I will head outside and start teaching the children acrobatics.
Okay.
I will remain probably about 4 feet in the air at this point.
All right. So give me a performance roll.
You want performance or actual acrobatics?
Oh, acrobatics will work.
That will be a 27.
Oh yeah. So a few of the kids actually can copy some of what you're doing, but nowhere near the skill level. But they're able to pull off a couple of somersaults, and a couple of them like, "Hey, watch! I can do this!" Start doing cartwheels. One kid starts to try to do something like a flip, and he doesn't quite get all the way around. Cracks his head a little bit of blood. But he's not crying. He's and then he moves and sees his hand and the blood that is on his hand. And this kid starts to wail. Less than a few minutes go by, about 3 people come outside. Alright, what's going on?
At the point where he started to bleed and freak out, I would probably do my best to try and bandage the area.
Okay, yeah, he's fine. He's like, until he sees the blood. Once he sees the blood, it's over with. So you're going to try to calm him down? Persuasion roll. You've been there. 10. You're a father, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that sound.
Top of the lungs, they have more air in their lungs than it's physically possible.
Precisely. Yeah. So I don't need to describe the noise, the sound, and the experience that you're feeling right now. So this older human lady, what's going on here? Who are you?
I was simply here trying to help the children learn some acrobatics together.
What's going on? Acrobatics?
It was simply a tumbling class. This one attempted thing that was a little bit.
You should be ashamed of yourself. They're children. Come here. And she grabs the
entire time that the kids were out here, were there any adults out here watching them?
No. Not a one.
Okay, at that point, I'm going to get into her face now. Ma'am, I am the only adult that's been out here this entire time. So if you are going to have any issues with anything happening out here, then you need to look at the structure of your facility and explain to me why there wasn't an adult out here with this many children.
There was no one crying until you were out here. Come here.
Out here trying.
Come here, David.
Out here trying. I'm dropping my claws.
Thud, dust
So that is a 24 intimidation as I get into her face and tell her to stop screaming. As my cross sinks about 6 inches in the ground.
Give me just a second. Oh, that's not what I want.
The symbol on Jonathan's head is all the George's behind.
It went from the.
And honor mine.
Don't pull it up on here because it's not bringing it
I
up.
know you said handprint, but I heard hamprint.
Yes, it's a print.
Of a pig. It's. Come on.
This will be said in a tone that only she can hear and not the children.
Okay.
Only for trying to intimidate her. I don't want the children scared.
So what is the you doing intimidation? Straight up intimidation roll? Alright.
Oh, wait a minute.
Ah!
Yeah, the first one was better.
What was it? 20.
Or 24.
She stops. She looks off-put for just a moment, but she quickly collects herself.
David, go inside. Children,
Now, if you would like,
all of you need to go inside.
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
this is how it's gonna play out, huh? 24.
For a split moment, something about her eyes change, and just for a split second, her appearance goes from elderly woman to by far one of the ugliest things you have ever seen. Skin
Is it anything I
pale green. The eyes seem to be glassy, almost like a lifeless doll. And that's just for a split second.
I think you need to leave.
I think you and I need to have a talk.
No, I think you need to leave.
What did I do with this job?
Just someone who runs an orphanage.
Well, you don't seem to be running it very well if you have this many children on the side.
Our children are well behaved. Good day, sir.
She turns and starts,
Well, because
and she starts to go back inside.
not just turn her back on.
Yep.
Just as bad as Tinkerbell.
What are we gonna do? I'm gonna fly in front of her.
Okay.
I asked you what you want.
Sonny, I think you best leave me alone.
And I believe these children are ordained in you. And that's something I want to see.
These children are fine. You would not harm our children. Our children are in harm when you arrive.
How many hit points do you have?
Points?
Yeah.
19.
Okay. As you're saying, as your interface, you're going to get. You.
Did you pass out or did she snap you up her legs?
He's asleep. You're passed out. Unless you have resistance to sleep. Yeah. I don't know if they're immune to sleep and charm. Then you're
I am passed out.
you're asleep. But as you're laying down, the last thing you hear is, "I told you, you should have left."
Space on that.
So, what are the rest of y'all doing?
You scared Mono away.
So it does say pixies have a magic resistance. I don't know if that qualifies. But it says they have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
This doesn't have a saving throw for it.
Leave spell. It's just based off the price.
Yep.
Alright, so,
Very few spells
how long,
It's a very effective spell at the right time. How long are y'all gonna wait before you search for him?
How long does that last?
duration
1 minute.
and how long has he been gone at this point?
Well, you're still searching. I mean, at this point, he hasn't been gone too terribly long.
Well, I went to the church and looked around there and went back to the inn with Envy. So, you're still there. You're still at the inn, right, Artemis? So I'll come in with Envy on my shoulder and say, I didn't find him at the church. Envy found me. Where else could he have gone? We do have information about the orphanage and his house on the
stayed there and hailed or he went from there to one of the main classes directly. So we only have two options ourselves.
Why don't we send Envy to scout?
Can't see the truth. I'm working on it. It's not going to be all that great, but a 20-minute conversation. 3 minutes worth.
Alright, so should we go together? And let's see.
Which place do you want to go? I will send Emily with you, and I'll go to the other place. If you find them, you send them, and get back to me. It's between two things. One, I'm the least likely to get in a fight in this entire world. And two, I know how to flow down the fucking wind.
How about I flip a coin to see who goes where? Heads, I go to the orphanage. Tails, I go to the house.
Loses the coin.
That would be heads.
Then I go head for the house.
And I will head for the orphanage with Envy. And Ming.
So,
Wait,
Axis.
Mim know how to find. If Mim know how to find you, why don't Mim come with me? That way we can just send the other.
Are you sure?
I mean, he did try to eat my hand out.
Axis, as
Keep it.
you're not sure what has transpired. You hear a buzzing sound, and you feel air moving past you through your wings. And you kind of wake up and you are surrounded by hundreds of flies. Like, we're talking like horsefly size. And they seem to be carrying you.
What the hell?
Just this mass blob of insects. As you come through, you shake yourself off. You are now on the other side of town, near the Coliseum.
Bitch can summon swarm, put me to sleep. Alright. I'm gonna head back to the last place I knew the Archimedean and see if he's still there.
You can summon your cross, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it.
Hey.
I can't pick it up.
Maybe we
I'll
can
just-
get pulses powerful in person.
for the kids to play with for the time being.
Okay.
Alright, so I will go back to the safe house, which was the last place that I knew
Alright, so y'all's safe house is in the center of practically everything, so getting back does not take... Yeah, getting back does not take long at all. Alright, so you're making your way back. What are y'all doing? You searched where? Sir?
I was going toward the orphanage.
Okay.
And he was heading towards the house that we know
On the outskirts. His vacation house.
Okay.
I'll get up the hideout the entire time. How long have Rick and I been first to the party?
Y'all probably run been at least a couple of months. At least.
So, in fact, I'd like to track him myself.
That's interesting because he flies most of the area. You could attempt it.
Is that you?
Alright, so you're headed to the house, you're headed to the church, and you're sticking your nose in the air trying to catch a scent.
I'm headed to the orphanage.
The orphanage, okay. It's going to take you probably,
Flat 20 on perception, don't please got him there.
what?
A flat 20, not flat static, for being able to scout him. No less except from outside.
Okay. It takes a little bit because he barely touched down anywhere, so you're trying to find where he would touch down outside the safe house. It's not an easy trek. So Archimedes, it's going to take you probably about at least a half an hour to get there. Kinjar, it does not take that long because, again, y'all are in the middle of everything. As you start coming, you're looking around and going, I think that orphanage is around here somewhere. Ask a couple directions. And then you spot something. Something you've seen before, but never by itself. There appears to be a large cross sitting on the sidewalk.
I recognize this as Brick's cross.
Yes.
So,
As you get closer, you do see a wrought iron fence, and you see some children playing in the yard. They seem to be drawing all over the side of the building with some chalk.
alright, I will tell Envy to go get Archimedes.
think we're just gonna change your name.
And we'll look around the area of the cross to see if I can see if there was any kind of scuffle or maybe do some investigation around the cross to kind of figure out why it's here by itself.
Okay. So you make your way.
With the natural 20 investigation
All right.
for 26.
We're gonna hold for just a second on that. Caiaphas, after a little bit, you've made your way to the church. There's all kinds of people milling about inside. There's beautiful statues along each wall. There's altars. There's incense burning. There's beautiful pictures on the ceiling. It's hard to catch this scent because there's so many different smells in the air of various incense burning, and the masses. Alright, for your investigation roll, it was a nat 20, which is the third one for the night. There doesn't appear to be any sort of...
That's actually the fourth one.
Oh, that was... So that's all. Each of y'all had at least one nat 20 now. So there doesn't appear to be any signs of scuffling. You do see some kids running around, but there appears to be no sign of any sort of fighting or anything.
That's not good.
Caiaphas, give me another roll. Alright. So you start... It's... Wait a minute, let's see. This time it's a little bit harder to catch the scent. The air has thickened a little bit, starting to get a little more humid. And there may be rain coming soon. Wander around the city, picking up scents here and there. And give me one more roll, Caiaphas. You make it back to the safe house, and the bird makes it to you, Archimedes.
18%.
18. You don't smell Axis anymore, but you're now smelling Kinjar. Kinjar's close. Headed in the direction that you last smelled Axis. As you turn the corner, you see Kinjar looking at Axis's cross.
I'm going to say that they do the same impression. It's all different stupid places.
So the bird has reached Reached you, Archimedes.
How far was, or how close was I to getting to the house?
I'd say you're probably about halfway there.
Redirect towards the.
Give me a perception roll.
Uh,
19. As you get the bird, you're like, all right. You start to turn around. As you do, this coach rides by. And there's your target in the coach. He's got 3 children with him.
Blank stare for like 3 seconds, then still staring at the carriage as it goes by, pull out book, write note, like twist it, put it in Envy's beak, bring that back, and following the target. I'm gonna wait until we get to like one of those areas where it's like after a crossroad, but there's an alley. I can go into the alley about 10 feet and then shoot, like start flying up and keep pace from above instead of having to fight a crowd.
Okay.
And the note that I'm sending back is eyes on target, heading, following carriage with 3 children and target to home.
Alright, so y'all are still at the orphanage, at the safe house. No. Nobody
Pride.
Oh, Pride.
Pride is still working.
Trying to
Pride is still puts a little bit more in. Lets like the oil leaks out into a beaker in front of him.
As you regurgitate into the beaker.
Yeah.
Right, that's disgusting, but
They understand language, but it doesn't say on their stat block that they can talk. So
I think it said that you could speak with them.
but they can. And how long would it take me? How long would it take me to get back to you?
Not long at all.
I am moving as fast as I can.
Alright. So what are you two at the orphanage doing?
I was still looking around, trying to figure out why his cross is still here, and waiting for Archimedes to get back.
I'm joining the kids and grandmas on the building for y'all.
Okay. As y'all are doing this, it is starting to get later in the evening, and you hear a bell being rung. You look up and you see there's a lady in the second story with a bell hanging out the window, ringing this bell, and the children all start heading inside. You're coming into the orphanage about the same time that the bird is back. You get the gist of that. You believe it is dinner time.
Is the lady? Oh wait, am I there yet?
Yeah, you're arriving as this bell's being rung. No.
So, alright, so we got
And the bird has arrived.
Cerberus and
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the
You,
rogue.
as you're planning, I believe you're planning on dive bombing this lady in the window, if I'm not mistaken. Because
Oh, yes.
as you're starting to,
But I'm grabbing my cross on the way through.
as you're coming down to get the cross, you see the bird land, and Serb gets the note out of its mouth and starts unrolling this note.
Eyes on. Eyes on.
As you're unrolling it, you see me fly past, grab my cross on my way through, and fly up to the fight.
Artemis has eyes on.
And then I will be slamming the cross into that lady's chest, asking her where the heck this person is.
This lady, as you give me an attack roll. You hit her with a blunt object, man.
That will be a 20.
All right.
I'll get advantage.
Oh, I'll give you advantage on this. I'll allow you. I'll allow this sneak attack. Oh, you don't have a sneak attack. You're not an official rogue.
Four assassins, only one rogue.
Only one rogue in the party. You're all assassins. You're guns for hire, so to speak. All right. As you hit her with this, she goes flying back from the window, crashing into a desk, and she's not moving. You do see blood start to trickle a little bit out of her mouth where she may have bit her tongue.
Is there anyone else in the room?
No.
Is she dead or just
Give me a medicine check. 9. Think she may be unconscious. She may be dying. You do notice a name plaque on the desk that's kind of been spun. And it does say Madam Natalie Nightstring.
going out and finding the mistress then?
So you're gonna go up, back out through the window, or you're gonna go through the door in the office? As you do, you see it written on the door. It says, Madam Natalie, Headmistress, Adelaide School, or Almist Orphanage. And there's a couple of other kids, older kids, walking through, probably close to being adults and being released from the orphanage. They're kind of looking at you odd, but you know, teenagers.
So Nate does not remember it, but I do remember that this woman yelled her name.
No. She never said her name at all.
I would just, I would walk up to one of the overseers and ask them if they have seen a person with normal appearance, not questions.
Oh. You mean Miss Florence. She's a crackety old one.
Where can I find her?
Well, she's probably in the mess hall right now.
That's your head towards the mess hall to see if they need any help. Because you asked them.
Yeah, downstairs. You can't miss it. Just listen to where all the youngins are at. Yeah, she's kind of a. She's just kind of, you know, she's a little mean, but you know, not that I'm aware of. No. I mean, yeah. She's whacked me a couple of good times, but you know, I probably deserved it. Yeah, we will. They head off to. Oh, you see them open a window in a room and light up something and put it out of a small pipe. So you're Kaifin, so you were in this mess hall. There are probably about 60 children in here, all kind of looking at you. You know, just There's one kid off the side. He's got his bowl of porridge, and he's just. It's falling off of his spoon while he's trying to eat it while looking at you helping out.
Don't spoil their food, kids. Eat. Trust me. It makes you big.
Starts eating it like it's going out of style. There are two older ladies that are back behind this table dishing out the food, and they're kind of eyeballing you a little bit. What are you doing in here? It's
Hiring health inspector, making sure kids have good.
they've got plenty. You need to leave. We're closing up for the evening. The children have to go to sleep. After they eat in bed, they will eat. You need to leave. It's late.
It's worse than you. It is good. And it's worse. It is good food for them, yes?
Yes, it's good. Now you go. Yeah.
Eat some.
Me?
Eat with the kids. Show them how to do it.
She has no problem. She eats some. You need to leave. You. These are children. You're not the child. You're big. You need to go.
Because I am big, that don't mean I am not child.
You're not child in orphanage.
Not for this one, no. I grew up with an orphanage.
Didn't your grandmother teach you when it was time to go home?
Grandma said when I lay head down, that is one.
You can't lay your head down here. Go.
I'm sorry.
We've got one that's not right here. Okay. What's your name?
I'm Captain Bullseye.
Bullhide?
You will check on the inside of his, more or less, his loincloth to see if it has his name on it.
Put that away! There's children here!
He said I'm Captain Bullseye, so yes, I'm Captain Bullseye.
Alright, Mr. Bullhide. It's time for you to leave.
After the children were eaten and I read bedtime story.
And what?
We must have good bedtime story to have good dreams. It is what the gods wish.
The gods wish you to go.
No, God wish for me to have good, strong, decisive.
Don't,
Lucky with bedtime story.
Mr. Bullhide, if you do not leave, we'll have to call the guards. You seem like a nice fellow, but you must go.
It is okay. Call Steve. He's a good guy. I like him too.
Can't hear you.
It's,
I think it's really best to be around all the distractions and look for what's going on. And know that let's just go through a window so he can be inside.
Alright, so Axis. What are you doing at this moment? You hear part of this conversation going on. And yes, the person that he's talking to is the old lady you were looking at when you passed out. She's literally standing, looking up at him, trying to get him to leave.
I'm going to move up behind him and use him as cover as I come around to naturally.
I do believe that would be full cover. You can start with this.
Maybe half cover because of the cross.
The cross is doing full cover because half cover from being behind me is set the ball, and the cross is also called by half.
I'm not actually using you for cover, I'm using you so she doesn't see me because you can see me.
Okay. Make your attack roll. Oh yeah, that's gonna hit.
Damage.
Huh?
For 13 damage. And after the hit, I will look her in the face and say, now I ask you what you are.
As you hit her, it seems to take. You actually hit her. You boom the same way you did the other one. She goes down, up against the wall on the other side of the table, and she's not moving. Yeah, you just saw Axis just knock this old lady down.
Alright, in that case,
The children scream.
Tinkerbell, grab her, casting darkness on myself, and guiding him out.
One moment. So, the children appear to fall asleep. So, the only people that are awake are you two and the other lady that is there. The one you didn't see that was behind you when you turned to face this one. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
20.
Oh, wait a minute. I have to make an attack roll first. Okay. So, you see this bolt of black energy buzz right past you as you're looking at this this lady you've knocked down, who doesn't appear to be breathing or moving. Just go right past you. As you look over, the other lady goes, I think you need to leave now.
As soon as I hear a commotion from outside, I'm actually going to take off, heading for. I don't want to get caught standing outside with the commotion inside. I'm going to head for Archimedes, because I know he has eyes on target.
You do notice that the lady lying down, her eyes open. She looks over at the other one and goes, the children asleep? Yep. She drops her disguise. The other one drops. They both drop their disguises. What you see are two of the ugliest women that have ever graced your eyeballs. The one that you hit it on the ground, her face is almost dog-shaped like. It's got a protruding snout. Her hair is green with what is that, seaweed in them? The other one has a set of horns that are slowly curling back. They look at you. Both of you, and then you coming in the door.
Do you really want to do this? We're taking care of these children so they can be strong. Do you want to fight me? Because if you do, yes, strong.
For what reason?
It's none of your business.
The children's safety is my business.
These children are under our protection.
Can I roll a history check to see if I heard about ghost strike people from grandma's stories in the past?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll give you a history or nature, either or. You remember Grandma telling you stories about these old witches that would hang out, sometimes gather together. Hags would be the term that you would recognize. Sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. So, 3 of y'all are inside now. Alright.
What are you preparing the children for? Why are you making them strong?
Why don't you ask the children?
Oh, you put them to sleep.
Give me a perception roll. 16. There's eerie children. You hear at least 3 different locations in the room. Children laughing. You glance over. They seem to be, they're all staring down at the ground.
She's taking good care of us.
As they lift their heads up, their faces are no longer those of children. They're oddly skull-like.
We're the children. She takes good care of us. Do you want to play?
Do I recognize what's going on with the children at all?
You have no clue. These creepy little bastards are you're looking at them with skull faces. There's 3 of them. I don't know. How much do you know about hags?
I don't know.
That would be that nature or history.
They're both about the same, so let's go with nature. 16 probably won't get me much.
Let's see. You've heard of hags the evil witch in the story. You go to the hag for help, and it always turns out wrong in some form or fashion. No matter what it is, there's always some twisted version of what's going on. That's pretty much all you know.
I'm aware that they do is
It's not bad, but yeah, it's not good. They usually they enjoy watching mortals fall, as in become. They like to sow discord and in the most whimsical ways.
probably not the best interest in the actual children and hearts, and therefore I'll just blast them for money.
All right. So in that case, all right. So we're gonna actually stop here because I still have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I imagine this combat could take a little bit. Because no, these are not imps.
You figure there's two hags down here. I'm guessing the one that I knocked out upstairs is going to be moving at some point. I don't trust that that can actually
Well, we'll have to find that out next week.
You need to open yourself a tea shop.
Yeah. So we're gonna call it. We're gonna.
I feel bad for the fact that we were fixing to kill this guy for being this super upstanding kind of guy, and then we find out that the place that he's supporting is full of hackers.
He's an upstanding guy. He has started in this time. That's not what he done.
See, this actually fits really well because my whole thing is orphans. From what I'm gathering, he's not actually helping the orphans. I'd kill him for free.
But I'm doing what Grandma said. Protect the kids. And I'll get the whole indoor floor and no kids. They need to be connected. That's what that's not eating.
Well, we'll find out next week. So, on the black door. So, for those of y'all that have been watching, thank you for coming by. Next week will probably be almost entirely combat. Unexpectedly, this is not where I was expecting combat to happen. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how they can get through this room, fight these hags, and not hurt any of the children that are asleep on the floor. Thank y'all for watching. You have a week to figure it out. That is correct. If you are still watching this, and you've noticed at the bottom here, before we go, I want to talk about this link here we have at the bottom in blue. This is a link to a spot fund. We have a friend of our Discord channel that was in an accident, and we're trying to help give them some money up to help take care of some medical bills, and just help them with their vehicle because they're going to be out of work for a little while. just help out in general. And I figure the gaming community, we can help out because we are a family, and we do what we can to help when we can. At least I think we should. I think all of us could donate at least $1. Because if all the followers that were on TikTok and were watching this would donate $1, we'd hit our goal in no time flat. And we'd all feel pretty good about ourselves. At least I'd feel pretty good about us. So yeah, if you could follow that link and donate anything, it'd be helpful. Be the hero that you play at the table. That, I believe, is all we've got for now. Next week we will have more. We will watch Our Valiant Adventurers. I'm not going to call you heroes. We'll see what our adventurers do. So that's all we're going to do tonight. If you want to stay, we might stay up and talk a little bit longer. And talk about what's going on. But for now, go forth and roll some dice.